sis.
Hey, sis.
Hey, Sister Circle.
I'm your big sis, April.
And I'm your little sis, Tiffany. And we are Sister Talk Network Podcast.
Sisters bridging the generational gap while encouraging candid conversations
and healing amongst women, friends, and sisters. You have a sister now. Hey, sis.
Hey, sis.
Hey, Sister
Hey,
Circle.
Sister Circle. Thank you for joining us today. I am your big sis, April.
And I'm your little sis, Tiffany.
And we are
Sister Talk Network Podcast.
Thank you so much for joining us today. So we're going to start with one of our cards.
Yes.
Uplift, inspire. Something good for our sisters. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Let's see what's in the middle. And I got my glasses with me because last week, y'all sisters, listen. Last week I couldn't read the card. And I was just staring at it like, what that say? So I got my glasses. Let's see what it says. It seemed like we had this one before. No, it was something similar though.
Okay.
And it's good. It says, I am becoming the best version of myself.
Okay.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's our goal, to become the best versions of ourselves. And I know we talk about this a lot in our Facebook group. So if you haven't joined, join it. Yes. That's one of our main goals, to become the best version of ourselves, the version that God created and what he intended for us to be. So sisters, we are becoming the best versions of ourselves as we heal, as we grow, as we evolve. So get ready and let's go, y'all.
Yes. So today we getting to know Big Sis today.
Okay.
So she got the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna ask some questions.
I don't know if she ready, but all right.
So I'm just gonna jump right in.
Okay.
What was your first encounter of God's presence that you can remember?
That I can remember, because there have been many. But I think the first encounter of his presence was actually on a women's retreat.
Okay.
One of the women's retreats that we went on, and it was during that night, we all had specific times that we were to go down and just pray. And like mine was from 2 to 3, just to like set the atmosphere for the room, like for the next day. And the power of God was so strong in that room that it was undeniable. So I'll say that was definitely the first time that I felt, and I was young, like early 20s. Okay. That was the first time that I felt God's presence in my life in a good way, in a powerful way. I can say prior to that, like being a teenager, I have felt his presence prior to that, but it was more of an audible voice.
Okay.
But it wasn't in a good way. Yeah. It was like him, like chastening, chastising in a way of, and I still remember, I remember clearly him saying, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And I was like, that's a hard word, you know?
It is.
And being so young and being in the church, and we've talked about like how we grew up, and oftentimes in church there was more fear than there was faith and comfortability and non-judgment and things like that. So I wish back then that I would have felt safe, like with really talking to somebody and getting a better understanding of what that meant. Yeah. Because me now, I know that I don't have the ability to keep his commandments in my own strength, and that I needed to submit that to God and allow him to come in and change me. Yeah. But I didn't get that in my life until much later.
We didn't know how to do that.
No.
It was like just everything was just do it.
Yeah.
Or fake it.
Yeah, fake it. And honestly,
make it look pretty.
Child, that's what I did for a long time.
Yeah.
That's what I did for a long time. Just faked it until I could make it. And now I really have an understanding of him. But the power of God, I didn't feel it young. Like a lot of people would say, or some people may say that they felt that early on, but I didn't. And I know now that it was because I lived in so much fear that there was not that ability to feel that power because it would have scared the crap out of
Yeah.
me. So, yeah. Power of God.
So out of all the times that you've encountered God, is the answer different for what was the most impactful?
What was, yes, it is. Yes. Whew. And that gives me like a chill, trying not to tear up kind of moment, because once I felt God in a way where I felt his love, that changed everything.
Yeah.
Where I had felt his power before, and y'all give me a minute. I had felt his power before, his presence in a room that was something that was life changing. But just being able to feel his love, being able to feel his comfort, being able to fully understand just how much he loves me, and that there was nothing that I could do to separate myself from that love, was the most impactful thing ever in my life. And it changed everything. It changed the trajectory of my life. I am forever changed by being able to feel his love. And if I'm honest, that didn't happen for me until just a few years ago. And it was because, again, I spent so much time in fear and trying to live up to the standards of others, and those standards that I felt were imposed on me, that I couldn't feel that love. So I'm grateful. I am grateful for that. And girl, you got me up.
I was like,
listen, y'all.
I said I was gonna ask some
She
questions.
got me up here about to cry in the first 5 minutes. Lord.
But yeah, like even being able to have a front seat for all of that, and to like watch it, like even if God didn't do anything through me personally, watching him do it through you is another reason why I'm like, can't nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah, that there's not a
because
God, right?
I'm literally sitting here for all of it and being able to see it. And I think that's one of the reasons why God was not giving up on us doing this.
Yeah.
Because other people needed to see it.
Yeah.
And like, no matter where you start at, I remember you saying like you didn't understand how God was going to catch up, like how he was going to make everything that he was showing you happen. And he was just like, it's about to be a whole ride.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna have to hold on, because now I gotta play catch up. And he did, and still is, and he is playing catch up.
He is. And I remember when you said that, me saying, oh no, we can't. Like, I don't believe he can, because too much time was lost. I missed out on so much, but I literally see him doing exactly that. Like, to the point where I can't even look out the window or step foot out my house without seeing beauty in the simple things. You know, it's just like, I woke up. One day I just woke up.
Yeah.
And everything was brand new. Is the best way I can explain it. Child. Oof.
I wish I had taken a picture. We had went to Edgewater. And y'all know I love birds. Like, I absolutely love birds. Like, yeah, I could literally just sit in a room full of birds and meditate all day long.
Yeah, we know.
And that's my absolute happy place, where she's just like, I don't like nothing flying over my
It's coming
head.
over here.
That's the whole city girl, because she's like, no, I don't want to see no bird, not unless it's on my plate. But we were getting ready to park, and I didn't know that parrots are a natural thing there.
Oh, okay.
So I was freaking out, because I'm like, there's green parrots all in like the whole, like how seagulls are.
Yeah.
And it was just green parrots. And I was freaking out. Like, oh my God. It took me forever to go into where we needed to go to, because I was
just
like
in awe of what you were seeing.
so happy.
Wow.
My husband looking at me like, can we go now?
God put them there for you. He put them
like,
there for you.
Can we go?
Yeah, that's good.
What is something that you continually give to God?
Me.
Yeah.
Point
Like all
blank
of
period.
it.
Me. You know, daily I have to submit myself to God, submit my ways to God, because I'm just going to revert back to something that you said. And that is that if he ever takes his hand or his grace off of this life,
Yeah.
I am in so much trouble. I don't ever want to see that girl again
Yeah.
that was so lost, so lonely, so broken. So me. I'm going to say first me. The second thing is my marriage. I continually give it to him. Like, I had to learn the hard way that I couldn't be the wife, the mate, the helpmate, I should say, that I needed to be for my husband without submitting that to God. Because ultimately we think we know what people need, but we don't have a clue.
Yeah.
We don't have a clue. So submitting that to God is now giving me insight on how to love my husband differently, what he needs from a spouse. And in doing so, I'm seeing God do work and things in him and us that I didn't even think were possible. So I think those are the two main things, but mainly me.
Yeah, that's a good one, especially the husband part. Jesus. Okay, separate from family, friends, and loved ones, what makes you happy?
Ooh. Like I just said before, just talking about the beauty of nature and going outside. And this is so crazy because I never knew that was what I enjoyed, because I didn't know who I was.
And you was on autopilot.
Yeah, just going.
Yeah.
Not even taking time to enjoy things. But first, the beach. I've always known I love the beach.
Yeah.
I love to put
Because she will keep you out there all day.
Sun up to sundown, watching the sunrise, watching the sunset.
One of my girlfriends was like, can I go swim? I was like,
nope.
We gonna find out.
But I love the beach. I love the feel of the sand on my feet. I love listening to the waves of the ocean. I love to travel to unknown places and find out the history of those places. I love chasing sunsets. Sunrises and sunsets are my happy place. Just sitting and watching the sun slowly go down.
Yeah.
So it's the simple things, which I honestly never knew. Yeah. I always, like you said, I was on autopilot, just going. I thought that stuff was what made me happy for the longest time. And once I finally let go of that, I now understand that it's just the simple things. It's the beauty of life.
I think we both did that.
Yeah.
Like the whole collector of things in society and the world. And like, okay, I'll feel accomplished once I get here. And then thankfully we did reach that point just for God to show us, that ain't it.
That ain't it. Yeah. It's not it. And I'm so glad you said outside of family, friends, and loved ones, because those are the cliche things.
Yeah.
You know, that we think about. Of course, my family makes me happy. Of course, you know, seeing my family happy makes me happy. But but those are things that are for other people. What about me? You know? So that was a good one, sis. Ooh, I like that one. That was good.
Let's get to it. How do you relieve stress?
Oh, I'm still working on that one. Yeah. Honestly, I'm still working on that one, and I don't have an answer yet. Like I said, I know the beach makes me happy, but what I found before this time of getting to this time of getting to know me, like even in those times when I was at the beach or at the spa or at those places, I've never been able to completely detach. In my mind, it's still, what do I have to do when I go back? So I'm still working on that. Like that's something that I need to be more aware of, first off. And what can I do when I can't get away from life? Like we say, when life is lifing and I can't get away from it, what can I do still to relieve stress? Because I'm not there. And before I would just, years ago, just how many drinks can I have?
Yeah.
But we're not doing that no more. Don't get me wrong. I will still have one. And for anybody that don't like that, I'm sorry. That's a whole nother topic that we can come back to. Yeah. I
think it depends too on like what the trigger is.
Yeah.
because like certain people are triggers where it's just like, you still in my space. I'm gonna go grab. I'm gonna go grab my blue because yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that one. Now you gave me something to think about because I'm not fully there.
Yeah, I'm not either. We still in the same boat. Like it is.
I'm not even gonna pretend.
It's hard, and that's one of them things where I don't ever want to say, "Oh yeah, I'm good," or "I passed that," because God gonna be like, "Oh yeah," and then send me something to stress me out just to see if I'm good. Like nope, I'm not there either. What's something that triggers you that you weren't aware of before you were on your healing journey?
That could be a few things, but let me think. I'm gonna say people. And although I knew people got on my nerves prior to my healing journey sometimes, I didn't realize how triggered I was and the why. And after getting on my healing journey, where something as simple as we talk about in the corporate world, an email that came through and my fingers go, like I have this whole response, but in my mind, I'm justified because this person is, not being the smartest right now, or they are coming at me in a way that they shouldn't, or trying to put more work on me than I should be doing. But why do I feel the need to respond in that way? Like I had to take a step back and ask myself, okay, why is this bothering me in that way? So what, they said that. I can respond in a way where it's not mean, arrogant, which I have done, but it's because it's that little girl again that still is looking for validation. So when I'm not getting it because I wasn't able to fight back in other instances, in other situations, I'm going to fight back in these situations because I'm not going to let you do that to me now. But in progressing and growing in my healing journey, I know I no longer have to do that. Some things don't even require a response. Some things do require a response, but I can come to you in a way where I don't have to be demeaning. And who was it? I think it was TD Jakes, and he said something about discussions or argue. I don't think he called it an argument, but he ended with saying, like, when you leave, your opponent should still feel worthy. Like you're not tearing them down.
I love his heart. I don't have that type of heart. I don't.
So yeah, people used to trigger me in a way that was bad, and I didn't understand until now.
Yeah, like what's that one meme where they talk about if somebody goes low, I dig the grave.
Oh my gosh!
Because I'm just like, if you really want to go there, boy, we about to go on the whole trip.
Going all the way low. She said the grave.
The grave.
Not lower.
I'm digging it.
So you're not going to be Michelle Obama if they go low, we go high.
No, that like every time I heard that saying, it used to piss me off. Like, she's like, when they go low, we go higher. I'm like, who asked you? Like, I've never, like, yeah, that. And I think that comes from me getting, because I let people get away with so much, like it usually takes me a long time to respond. Okay. So like once I finally do respond and you done kicked me enough times, all bets is off. You about to be hurt.
It's gonna be bad. Well, we're gonna be praying about that. Yeah. Because I do believe that that God will use that in a way. In some way, I don't know what it'll be, and that he will change that narrative in your life because I see him doing it for me. Yeah, and I don't always make it I don't always meet the mark, I should say. Like even I think it was yesterday or the day before. No, yesterday morning. I had so much to do and I'm out and about, and people are just move out my way. Like it was one of those mornings. Why are you doing this? Or, like people are being rude. And I felt myself getting ready to go there, like to be rude back. And I'm like, nope, we're not doing that today. So he'll work it out for you.
Yeah, he's done worked out so many other things.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
What solidified you starting your healing journey?
Ooh. I can't tell everything because it's a lot. And, something, we can't share everything.
Yeah.
But I just remember, and I can remember the day like it was yesterday. And I was involved in some stuff. Like I had really strayed, honestly. I thank God for my foundation because even in all of my mess, I know where my help comes from.
Yeah.
And wanting to get out of this situation, but just in so much bondage that I didn't even know how to begin. And he used one of my sisters, gave a dream. She had a dream about me. And it was an awful dream. Yeah. And she was reluctant to even tell me about it because it was just that bad. But she finally got up the courage not to call me, but to send it in a text. She's like, I have to tell her what I'm thinking. And she gave me the scenario, and it was like God was whispering in my ear, this is it. You can't, you're going the wrong way. Yeah. You can't continue to hide behind this pain, this hurt, and try to use external things to bring the gratification that's only going to come from me. And that day, I remember being in my house. I was alone and walking around my house and crying out to God in a way that I have never cried out to him before. And it's like, if you don't do this, it can't be done. If you don't do this, I'm going to die because I can no longer live this way anymore. And he met me that day, and he has been meeting me every day since. So, and I know we said it before, but to our sisters, just know that no matter how low you feel that you are, God can, he wants to, he will meet you and bring you out.
Yeah. Ooh. Look back at now, and you be like, oh my God. Like, who was that? Who was that person?
Was that person? Yeah. And how did she allow herself to get to such a sunken, low place? But when I think about it, I get it because that girl had no idea who she was, knew nothing about life, who God wanted me to be. If somebody would have asked me then the questions that you're asking me now, I probably would have just sat and looked like dumbfounded. Like, what makes me happy? What do I like to do? What triggers me? Because my life at that point, and I know I've talked about it before, being an imposter, living in imposter syndrome, I probably would have given the cliche answers for what somebody else would have said that I admired or something like that. But just no idea of who I was or why I was here or what I was supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely get that. Like, I know I joke about it all the time now about like the kids. Cause like, my cliche would have been answered like, oh, spending time with my kids and doing the arts and crafts. No, being as far away from them as I possibly can and having nothing but silence. Right. Because if we really honest, like there are some moms, but God built them different. He ain't built me like that. It's like, I miss them while I'm gone, but I need that replenished time for just me.
Absolutely. And I think everyone does. I think any mom that says they don't need it, they're still living in that cliche world of...
Or maybe they just got a new baby or something. Cause
no.
Did a new baby? I couldn't. I didn't want to spend a second away from my child.
Yeah.
They get older and start talking, you be like...
Right.
And there's more than one. They start fighting. You be like, I want to run. And I completely understand now with mom telling me that she was going to change her name.
Because you kept calling her.
I'm going to change my name. You calling me all the time. And I was like, what you going to change it to? Because I'm going to call you that. Like, what you going to change it to? But that's like, hilarious.
I'm going to keep calling you.
What is your passion?
Ooh, my passion is healing. Right now, my passion is healing. I think about it every single day. And not just my healing for us, healing for my sisters. That is where my passion lies. And what can I do? What can I do to help, to empower my sisters on their healing journey as well. But yeah, that's my passion.
I'm having a creepy moment right now because, and I never, like, I don't think we really, like, talked about, like, what our gifts were.
Mm-hmm.
But I can, like, literally, like I always explain to my sister, like, there's moments where God is louder than other times. And I'm like, God is yelling
He's
at
yelling,
me.
yeah.
But God was saying that you already are doing it.
Oh, wow.
And
ooh, child.
I beat my face. I'm not doing this today. But just to, like, to complete, it's like to know that you're my sister, but to be like not recognizing you. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does.
Like,
absolutely.
Just to know, like, everybody else looking from the outside will be like, oh, well, this comes across easy. And like, because I understand how this is not easy for you, and I understand the fight that the enemy was giving you so that you wouldn't realize who you were. And like, if nothing else, like, this is where, like, a lot of times where my anger comes from, because it pisses me off, and I'm not pissed at anybody else, or the enemy gonna get these feet.
Foot on neck.
Yes, because now being from the healing part of it, or being in the healing journey, and looking back over, like, all the hell that you was going through, and having that aha moment of, oh, now I finally see why he was fighting me so hard. You know, we had a dream of people saying, oh, they still talking. And yeah, you still talking.
Yeah.
And what the enemy was trying to do to shut you up.
Girl, that's a whole nother episode. But I two things. I can even think back to when we started, and still being in that phase of faking it until I could make it, because I knew what God was saying to do, but the anxiety that was coming along with it, and I knew the right answers and what I needed to say, but it still, even at that time, wasn't genuine. It was just me saying what I thought I needed to say. But now being able to speak and feel it is just something completely different. And if you talk to some of my friends, like, I've had conversations with people, like, and I'm telling them about my healing journey and where I am, and like how I want God to continue to work in me and do what he needs to do. And they're like, you've always been a kind person. Like, you've always helped people and guided them and like all that. And I have. But it was just as fake could be. You know, like, it was me saying, giving the advice that I wouldn't take for myself is what it was. So I'm telling you all the things that I think you should do, and the right things, and like how you can grow and evolve. But it's fake because how can I tell you to do something and I'm not doing myself?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, I was great at giving relationships, but I couldn't pick one if I wanted to.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I picked all the right ones, but I could pick one for my girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's where I was, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's beautiful to watch.
I bet. I bet. Like, sometimes I wish I could be on the outside looking in. At it, because just knowing where I was, like, even a year, 2 years ago, where just complete social anxiety, like not wanting to be around people. So when I was around people, I just conformed to whoever I was with, you know, like, what do they need, or, you know, how are they talking? But just being able to be authentically myself, no matter where I go. And if the crowd don't fit, I'll see y'all later, or I'm gonna go sit in the car or whatever. But I'm just grateful. Yeah, I'm so grateful.
Being at a birthday party, and like, one of the tables was a bunch of uppity, high class people, and I was like, normally I would, because I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm supposed to be this because I look like I fit in here, but no, you gonna get ethnic.
Yes,
and they were ethnic, but it's like, no, you gonna get.
I get it.
You gonna get exactly where I came from.
Yeah, I totally get that, and you know, just feeling like that holy feeling of unworthiness before, of like you're around people and you know they have multiple degrees, and it's this room of affluent, successful people, and like my voice almost didn't matter. But now I know my voice matters.
Or other stay-at-home moms that house is always clean and all this other stuff. But
Good
then
for
you
them.
don't know they got two cleaning ladies that came
Yeah.
3 hours before you got here. And
Yes.
it's hilarious now because that's one of the reasons why I have cut people off. Because I'm not going to sit up here and let you fake it.
Right.
And sit up here and have everybody else's thinking like, no, I just watched them leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you kidding me? I know exactly who your cleaning lady is, but you going to sit up here and act like you do it all and you meal prep and you do all of this stuff? Like, no, that's Chipotle that you split up between 3 different meals and put it in your fridge and you trying to act like you meal prep. Stop it.
That's good.
Like,
good.
I'm not doing that no more. Now I will clean my house because I don't want nobody coming in dirty house, but I'm not going to sit up here and have somebody else cleaning my house and make it seem like, oh, I did it.
Yeah. No, that's good. And I think we need more of that. You know, especially with social media and everybody faking it, the fake world. You know, just letting people know it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be you. And like, we're all different. And it's okay.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yes, that is okay. And God meeting you where you are. That's such a beautiful statement that you made. Like, him meeting you where you are.
Yeah.
And this is like, you would rather you meet God where he is versus him to come down to where you are. I remember like so many people saying when I was talking younger and like talking to my friends and wanting them to experience what I experienced, and they're like, oh, well, I'll get saved once I do this, and this. I'll get saved once I stop drinking. I'll go to church when I get rid of my little side boo, and I'll do this and I'll do that. But it's like, you're never gonna get rid of them because you got soul ties that God need to break.
Yes.
You're not gonna get rid of a alcohol addiction that you don't even understand, that if you met God, you will understand that you can't fight this on your own because it's a whole spirit.
Yes.
And for the last 3 generations, everybody has fought that same battle.
In your family.
Yes. But you thinking, oh, you can fight it on your own, not realizing, oh no, the enemy has had practice.
Yeah. Oof.
And I think that was like the main thing for us. Like when I started to realize that the battles that I was going through was something that you already passed and vice versa. It was a game changer for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, he's been doing this before.
Yeah.
Or just like even with the gifts, knowing that mom had some of the same gifts and never knowing it. And I'm like, could have really used how to navigate
knowledge,
this.
right?
Yeah. Not thinking that I'm crazy and trying to figure out whose voice this is because it sounds nothing like me.
Yeah. But even with her, and I know she wouldn't mind me saying this because of some of the conversations we had recently, because she didn't know how to handle it, what to do with it, the risk of sounding crazy.
Yeah.
She kept a lot of things to herself as well. And that's what the enemy seeks to do, is to isolate, don't talk about it to anybody. And like we've talked to our sisters about, he did that for years with us. But having that knowledge and understanding, it's like, okay, we're good now. You know, like we're even in my conversations with mom, she's like, really? Wow. Like she really didn't know. Yeah. So it's giving her peace and understanding in a way on a lot of things that she just didn't understand.
Yeah. When I told her, she still has that paper. I didn't understand what she was going through. I understand now what she was going through, but I kept seeing angels around her. And like I drew her picture. Like I'm like 6, 7 years old. Yeah. Like you can see stuff different. I'm glad I have those memories because you can see stuff completely different as a young kid than now. Yeah. So like when I told her, and like now I understand why she kept it. But she like me and her had that conversation and she just thought I could like feel them or like somehow like I just knew they were there, like it was a knowledge thing, and I was like, no, I remember seeing them. Wow. Like it wasn't a guess, it wasn't a like I remember we had this instance, so we have a lot of instances where we know that our prayers work. So there was one time my house was being tormented real bad, waking up at 3:00 in the middle of the night, kids having nightmares. I'm like bouncing back and forth. I'm crying. I'm delirious at this point. And I remember you, well, I didn't know until after the fact that you was parked outside my house and praying that God dispatched the angels around the house. And I called you and I was like, looking, I don't know whose window I was, one of the kids' windows. And I was like, it looks like there's angels around the house. And I'm like, oh my God.
I had to pull over on that one, y'all. Because it's like, God hears you when you pray, but him giving you that validation that, oh, I really heard you when you prayed. Yeah, that was an aha moment. And then like even one other incident with mom, and it's like Tiffany, listen, y'all, little sis has a gift of discernment. Like if we're out and about, and goodness. I gotta tell this one out because I'm released to tell it now. And we see a whole group of people, and I'm walking by like, hi, and she's like, did you see her? She was pure evil. And I'm like, no, I didn't see her. But she has a gift of discernment in seeing what's behind that smiling face. So I was out with mom, and I think I told you this. I was out with my mom, and we're going in a store. And I see her just staring at this lady. And the lady has a little girl, and she has her husband or whoever. And she's like, she is just an evil lady. She is not a nice lady. And I'm like, Mom, stop. Because as you get older, you have no filter at all, right? And I'm like, why would you say that? And she's like, because she is. She is not a good person. She's an evil person. And it reminded me of you because I'm like, oh, okay, this where she got that gift from, where they have that gift of discernment to see beyond what's on the exterior. Where with me, I have a feeling sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I'll tell you, something is off. Yeah. So this is what I need to do until God shows me what it really is. Yeah. But yeah, just being free has allowed us to see those gifts and those things that we never would have been able to tap into had we not come to this place of healing. And that, as I'm talking now, I don't know if you remember a few episodes back where I said, you asked me what was one thing I wanted God to change in my life. And one of the things I said was I wanted him to heal the threefold relationship between you, me, and mom. And he's reminding me that that's what he's doing. Yeah. So thank you, Lord. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you some more questions.
Girl, we're going to be way over time.
Okay, so I got one more.
Okay.
How has your past contributed to your life today?
I'm trying to hold back the tears because everything that happened in my past was the prerequisite for this time. This time in my life is the defining moment that God always had in mind for me. But because life got in the way, because I made some bad choices, because of things that I endured in my upbringing, I took the long route. So it affected me in a way, those things affected me in a way that although it made life harder for me, it prepared me for this moment. It prepared me for this moment of walking in healing, constantly evolving and growing in healing, and being the person that I need to be for my sister, biological sisters, and our sister circle. It created this passion in me for healing for myself and my sister and my sister circle. So although life has been tough, I won't even pretend it's been easy. It has, it created this moment. And for that, I am so grateful.
Literally all things working together.
Yeah.
It's good in his purpose and his glory.
Yeah, he's definitely proved that. Like, even though you didn't do what you were supposed to do in the timing that you needed to do it, he is working it all together for his good and glory. And I'm grateful. Ooh, yo, I'm not crying no more. I'm not crying anymore today. But
so what's your ending statement? Is there anything that you want to leave our
oh
sisters
yes,
with?
I absolutely do, and I'm putting on my glasses for this because, and I just need to stop and say that God is so amazing, because when I saw this morning, I had no idea that you were going to ask me these questions, and when I read this, you were going to know how appropriate it is. So this came from, it's something that was shared online by, well, I call her my sis Tab. But for some of my younger sisters like you, she's Auntie Tab, but she is my sis Tab. And she shared this morning, and God is so awesome. I got to say that again. It said, "It didn't happen to you, it happened through you. Remember to embrace your journey and know that everything happens for a reason. So take a moment to reflect on your journey and appreciate all the experiences that have led you to where you are today. Embrace the ups, downs, highs, and lows, and know that they are all a part of your unique path." Now, does it get any, does it, mic drop. I'm just about to drop my paper on the floor. Because it gets no more, I can't even think of the word.
Yeah.
But God being God, he knew that all of those things were going to happen. He knew exactly what questions you were going to ask me today that I didn't. Showed me that ahead of time to bring everything full circle, like he always does.
Always does. He always does it.
So I'm grateful. And we're going to wrap up because I'm not about to sit here and cry.
Well, I gotta do one more thing.
Okay.
Because I remember like one of your pivotal points, and I'm just remembering it now, and how God was like, and like when he was doing that, he literally knew about this moment, and he literally was just like, this comes from one of the women's retreats that we were at. And yeah, God said he was gonna do it.
Yeah.
And he kept his promise. Even though we had doubts all along the way, like, you gonna do what?
Yeah, how are you gonna do that? Yeah, right.
With this mouth and this attitude.
Yeah.
Like, you want me to get, I don't even like people. I don't want to talk to half these people. But like, and then, yeah.
He is absolutely doing it. So
restored the things that we didn't even know was broken.
Yeah, beauty for ashes is what he's definitely doing. So yeah, we're gonna have to come back. I need you to answer some questions too. Oh, Lord. Like, yeah. So maybe that's what we'll do next week. Because I think it's important for our sisters to really understand us. And like, we gloss over things just along the way.
Yeah.
And we talk about things that they may not even fully understand. Yeah. But this, I think, gives a full understanding of where I am, where I've been, and where I am. And like, if you have any of you have questions, put them in the comments. Yes. Like, we respond. We absolutely respond. So do that. So I think we should end with our question.
And what does sisterhood mean to you?
To me, well, just in the whole topic and the questions that you've asked me, to me, sisterhood means authenticity. And being able to be truly authentic with my sisters, whether it's the good, whether it's the bad, whether it's the ugly. This is truly me. And for the longest time, I couldn't be that person. You know, it was the whole, we talk about it, the mask and all the things that we did. But that's where I'm at now. And that will fully allow me to identify my we, the people that are assigned to me. Because if it doesn't fit, I'm not forcing anything anymore. Yeah. So what does sisterhood mean to you, sis?
For me, it means full circle.
That's good.
Like, I think about some of my friends and some people that were close to me that I called my sisters, they didn't fit in the time frame that I was at, because I was a hot behind mess. Like, if I'm being honest, I wasn't the best friend. I wasn't somebody. I was the friend that you could call if you wanted to hang out and party. But I really didn't know how to handle my friends when they were going through tough situations. So for that reason, I lost a lot of friends. And then having those same friends and it coming full circle, and like now being able to like, no, I can fool, and like how we talked about, it's authentic.
Yeah.
Like I'm not faking it and trying to force myself to be there because I don't have it to be there. I'll just tell you I don't have it. But if I
Yeah.
have it, absolutely, I'm going to be there. So it's just like everything coming full circle. And something that I tried to, even friendships that I tried to force, like how you talked about forcing, and now having an aha moment of, oh, thank you, Jesus, for not allowing that relationship to even work.
Yeah, because think about where it could have gone.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful, like in seeing him align you with people that appreciate you for who you are, you know, and that authenticity, because you are who you are. Like it's not changing. You are who you are. And yeah, people that embrace that. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. And thank you for this. Like this, try not to cry. This was impactful and healing and insightful in a way that if you don't take a moment to just pause and reflect, it can't happen. And like, although we've talked about reflecting, I haven't done so in this way. So I will be watching this back.
And then you can do your ugly cry.
Yeah, right. Because I'm not doing it. I refuse to do it. Like it's right here in my throat. I won't even pretend. And I probably will on my ride home just have like a whole breakdown, but in a good way, a joyful breakdown. So I'm grateful for that. I really am. So we're going to wrap up. Did you have anything else before we do?
That is it.
But I just want to tell our sisters to be encouraged. Look at my life, look at our lives, and be encouraged that no matter where you are, again, God will meet you there, and allow him to work in you and through you to mold you into that version, that person, that best version of you that he had in mind when he created you. So I also want to just give a reminder to, if you haven't already done so, to join our private Facebook group, Let's Talk Sis. If you have joined, reach out to a sister friend, tell them to join, because our goal is to uplift, inspire, evolve into the best version of ourselves. As you are watching back, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone that you think will be blessed by it. And we love y'all. Like, that's what I want to say to my sisters. Like, the love is genuinely there. Like, we love you. We want the best for you. We want to see you heal and grow as we heal and grow. And I think that's it.
Yeah, we wouldn't have done this if it was just us. No. But like those stories of watching God work through us to help somebody else is what keeps us going.
Yeah.
Because the enemy been busy.
Yeah, been fighting.
Yeah, like our sisters is what helps those thoughts not to win.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not quitting. We are going to keep on going and growing and evolving. So we are going to end on that note. Yes. We want everyone to have a good rest of your evening, and we will see you soon. Bye.